Good morning, everybody. I know I haven't updated Amerys vlog in quite a while, but our family has been through a lot over the last few months, and all I can say is life happened. In September, my mother passed away, and we had moved in with her the last few months that she was alive to help her out. And now we're in the process of cleaning out her house, moving our stuff in, downsizing her stuff, going through boxes and trying to figure out what we're going to let go of and what we're going to keep. And it's been really hard. Also during that time, two of my other children, my oldest and my youngest, have been diagnosed with chronic long-term illnesses. Wouldn't say that they're rare, but they are chronic, and we can go into that later. But new therapies and treatments for everybody involved seem to have made our time very limited. So I wanted to apologize, but hopefully going forward we'll be able to update her YouTube channel more and get you guys into her life so we can bring awareness to mitochondrial disease and all the different symptoms that it causes. Today is Saturday, and today is cheer evaluation day at her all-star group. On Thursday, which today again is Saturday, Emery had a gastroparesis attack, which is part of her mitochondrial disease. She experienced bloating, nauseousness, feeling the sensitivity of, or the sensation of feeling full, and we had to start her emergency treatment plan at home to avoid going to the hospital. Now, I went to check on her a few minutes ago, and her belly bloating has gone down. Last night when she went to bed, she seemed to be feeling a little bit better, and I know when she wakes up, just knowing her, she's going to beg to go. So we are going to try our hardest to be there today. But in the process of everything, I did it. Oops. Emery's pump battery died, and so I had to take her off of it to charge it. So it is sitting on the counter charging right now so that she has it. But you know, sometimes things happen, life happens. Mommy of the Year award to me. But I wanted to let you see what we are going to do to bolus her. It's gavage feeding, and basically a gravity feed, but it's a bolus so that she can get back into her normal continuous feeding routine. And I'm going to mix some of her formula now, and I was going to show you how I do that. This is, excuse the counter, we had to go to Walgreens and get medication, but this is Amerys supplies for her Neocate Jr. Let me move that out of the way. I pre-mix it and make several of these, and yes, they are labeled Emery, and then I also have some that are labeled Arabella because my other daughter takes Ellacare Jr., so that way we don't get them confused. And this is her formula. It's Neocate Jr. unflavored because it goes through her G-tube. She doesn't taste it. I mean, she says she tastes it when she burps sometimes, but it doesn't actually go in her mouth. And then instead of mixing her Neocate with water, we actually mix it with Pedialyte so that she gets extra electrolytes and sugar to help with her dysautonomia and her severe lactic acidosis that she seems to have due to her mitochondrial disease. And then of course the good old big funnel to help us do this. So this is it. Oh, and I'm sorry, this is just a regular Medela bottle, but it has measurements on it so I can tell when I'm measuring, because I want to try to make it exact as possible. Don't want to give her too much formula, don't want to give her too much Pedialyte. So it has the milliliter measurements, and then of course the ounce measurements for anybody who's on the American system and metric. So let me get my camera set up and I will show you what I do. So I just have to tell you, while I'm making her formula, I am watching one of our favorite YouTube channels, The Frey Life. We love Mary and love the spirit and happiness that her and her husband exude. Emery, because of her mitochondrial disease, is also, let me pause this so you can hear me. Because of Emery's mitochondrial disease, she is also on what is considered a CF protocol. She does not have cystic fibrosis, but mitochondrial disease creates symptoms that are identical to cystic fibrosis. So just so that you are aware, she does not have the recessive gene, but she does have the same symptoms as cystic fibrosis. So they have found, treating children with mitochondrial disease who have lung involvement, a CF protocol is one of the best treatments that's offered. So just before we start, so that you know, this is how the manufacturer and how the pediatrician and her GI doctor ask us to mix. So you have how many ounces of water that you give and how many scoops of Neocate. And usually when I make a big batch like I'm doing, I do the 18 scoops to 20 ounces of fluid, which on here it does say water. Again, we use Pedialyte instead of water. So it makes it more than 30 calories per ounce, but it's what she needs. That's what we do. And so 18 scoops and then 20 ounces of Pedialyte will make 24 ounces of volume. Unfortunately, I don't have my tripod handy, so I'm going to try to do this one-handed and see how well that goes. Wish me luck. So what I do is I always keep an empty Pedialyte bottle from, you know, mixing before, you know, meal, what we call meal prep for her from before, and this is what I will use to mix her formula and Pedialyte together, and you'll see why in a minute. So we have our empty Pedialyte bottle and our funnel. Ta-da! Let me scoot this back to make it easier. And then I will scoop 18 scoops into the funnel. I've got to go get another can like I said, so hold on a second. So I've opened another can, and I know many other mothers, you know, mothers that feed formula or even special needs moms can't seem to stand when they bury the scoop into the can and you have to dig it out. So what I do is I actually keep the scoop from the can before and use it until I dig out the scoop. Just to make it easier, make life easier. And see, the scoop is pretty much almost undone. And then I just take it and start thumping. You can see that I just start thumping it down into the bottle, hoping that I don't make the whole entire household up. Thank goodness for time lapse, right? And then we put the funnel to the side. So now I'm going to open our Pedialyte, which this may be difficult, me doing one hand. And then these, on the 1 liter bottles, which is what this is, it has a little, I don't know if you can see that, it has a little groove there so that you can puncture the seal and then spin it around. Which, I don't, yeah, it worked. Sorry, with me doing this one-handed, I wasn't sure. So you do it around, and it punctures that seal and opens it. So now I take, this is 5, so I need 4 of these, because I remember I have to do 20 ounces. So I measure it, go down to eye level. It's 5, and I do 4 of these. So 1, 2, and just so you know, this is the reason that I keep the empty bottles that come, or that I empty out whenever I use the Pedialyte, because it makes this process so much easier. So you put the lid on tight, and shake it. If I shook it in this, I'd have to hold on to the top and make sure it didn't leak, and it's kind of cumbersome for my little hands. So I have short, fat fingers, and it doesn't make gripping onto things very easy. And I check the bottom and make sure it's all mixed in. Pedialyte sometimes, I mean even at room temperature, sometimes you get chunks of formula. And it's really no big deal because as it sits, it starts to break down and you kind of shake it every time you use it anyway because it starts to separate. But I like to make sure that any of the powder that was accumulated at the bottom is gone. So then I just open this container, if I can get it under my arm and do it. So I open that container, open this, pour it in, and she has at least 1 liter made, or 24 ounces. So actually it's 24 ounces, not 1 liter, because I didn't finish the bottle of Pedialyte. But that's what I do, and then I just keep adding until I fill it up. And sometimes I'll make a 4-day supply, so we keep them in the fridge, and she can, 4 days, it doesn't spoil or anything, and 4 days is the longest they actually advise you to keep it in the refrigerator. So I might make a 4-day supply. She is on 110 milliliters an hour continuous. So and then when she has to come off of her pump for whatever reason, let's say for cheer, a lot of times I take her off for doctor's appointments, or whenever she's having her infusions through her port, that's too much fluid in her body at once, and so she's constantly in the bathroom. So I'll take her off while she's running her infusions, but I do have to bolus her before and after to make up for the times that she is off her pump. And then we also do a high calorie boost, which I don't have any made because we haven't had to do it in a while, but I mix her formula and use the formula to puree avocados, and then I will put them in 4-ounce juice pouches, kind of like the juice pouches you get in the baby section. And I have my own system. I'll get that for you. It is the Squeeze Station, and I can actually put a link in the description box because we got ours through Amazon if you want to see it. And it's a Squeeze Station. The bags fit where my finger is, and these little things come out and lock into the top of the bag. It screws in. Then you fill this tube and plunger, and you plunge it down into the bag. And we make those for a high calorie boost. Depending, I usually get, out of 1 avocado and her formula, I will get 4 to 5 pouches, depending on how big the avocado is. And each pouch is around 329 calories and 29 grams of fat, and about 7, with her formula, about 7 grams of protein. So that is a perfect low volume protein, high calorie boost for her for when she has, let's say, choreography camp with cheer, competition. If her stomach is, you know, if she's not gaining a lot of weight, we'll put her on that for a while because she does have a tendency to go up and down on the weight charts. So like I said, this is the, and I can't ever say the company's name right, but it's the Squeeze Station, and I'll put the description, or I'll put the link in the description box below, so that if you want to get one of those and order it with the pouches, you can do so. So today is cheer evaluation day, and Emery is afraid that she's not going to be able to go today. Let me look at your tummy, and we'll see, okay? Here is Miss Arabella. She is also going to evaluations today because they cheer together. This is Emery's sister. She's 10. Say hi.
Hi.
And it is currently, I'll delete this one, 7:11 in the morning. Well, now 7:12. So we have got to get everybody fed and off to be there at 9 o'clock. So I said I was going to show you how we gavage Emery. So I'm getting the death stare. Don't smile. Don't smile. You might break your face. Okay, let's look at your belly and make sure that your tummy's gone down. Let me see your belly. Lift it up. Well, lift up your shirt. Oh, my hands are cold. I'm sorry. Lift your shirt up more so I can see. Well, it looks like, turn to the side. It looks like it's gone down. Do you feel like you're full all the time? You do feel like you're full? Does it hurt? No, it doesn't hurt. So, just so you know, and I can put a link in the description box below, these are G2 pads. This particular one and any of the ones similar to these, we order from Tubi Wooby. And Emery loves them because she can pick out what she feels like for the day. And then by Hobby ISO, so I make her a lot of round ones in fun fabrics that she picks out that she likes. And the reason she wears those were, a lot of people wear them to absorb like any kind of leakage. She has actually somehow developed an allergy to the material that her G-tube is made out of. And we don't know if it's a true allergy or if it's her mytocytosis, which is mast cell activating, but she has to keep her skin and the G-tube away from each other. Now the problem is, I'm not going to touch your skin, baby, stop. The problem is where the stoma goes into her belly. If you can see, it's still red and irritated because her skin is still in contact with that part. But they don't make them in other material. Not even the peg tubes are made with a different material. They all have the same chemical makeup. So it's either she deals with it like this or she has to go on TPN. And that's what we're trying to avoid. So now I'm going to see if my handy dandy assistant, my 10-year-old assistant, can help me video while I gavage. We have these syringes. They're 60cc syringes. And Emery gets 31 of these a month because we can't use them after 24 hours. We have to throw them away. Not even washing them will work because of her immunodeficiency and bacteria in her stomach. She harbors candida, which she's allergic to. We have to just make sure we chunk these after we use them for the day. So I take the plunger out. Take the cap off, obviously. And stick it in her tube. And see, she's gotten bile backed up in there from where I disconnected her. So, since it's clamped off, it's not coming out. Hold that for me, baby. And remember me telling you we had to shake this up because it separates. So we're shaking this up. And we pour it in. Ready? It's gonna be cold. And then we just let it run down. Like I popped the clamp off. Stopped it. Hang on. It's going down, but sometimes this thing will get a kink in it. Can't get it down. I'll get it down later. But anyway, it's going. And then usually right as it gets to right here, I'll pour more in there so air doesn't get in her line and create bloating and more gastroparesis issues. Here, lift that up, baby. You gotta lift it up. Right there. There you go. And she gets 110 milliliters an hour because with the volume she can't handle anymore. So that was actually 120 because 60 cc's is 120. So hold that for me. So while she's holding that, that's what she would get in an hour that just got gavaged all at once. So now we're going to flush it, and instead of flushing with water, we flush with Pedialyte. We just let it run down. And then as it goes down, I clamp it before it can get any air in the line. After looking at your belly, not so much your behavior this morning, but looking at your belly, I'm going to let you try evals today. Okay? So are you excited about going to cheer evals? Oh, somebody's got that hangry attitude. Alright, we're getting ready to head to cheer evaluation number 2. They do 3 different cheer evaluations and a flyer evaluation, and today's number 2. Alright, show me your superheroes. So Arabella is wearing her Wonder Woman for strength today. And she's got it so that when she does her back handspring, she can see it perfectly. And then Emery is wearing not only her Supergirl shirt in green, but she is wearing her V for Victory and her Strongman. And we are loaded in the car before time to leave. Miracles never cease. So as we are heading to cheer, I am stopping to get one of my guilty pleasures for the day. McDonald's. And I'm not getting food, I'm getting a caramel frappe.
Good morning, thank you for choosing McDonald's. May I help you?
Yes, can I get a large caramel frappe, please?
Large caramel frappe, what else for you?
That'll be it.
$3.73 is first window.
Thank you very much. Yummy, my caramel frappe. So we are here, and traffic was not bad because even with this stop to McDonald's, I still got here before 9.
Look weird. That's the orange. Oh my goodness. It was in his wrapper thing. Didn't want to leave. Didn't want to stay. Oh my god. It wanted to leave.
So something funny that happened when Arabella came out of cheer is she's been working on her back handspring, and she's kind of 50% whether she lands it or not. And keep your head straight so we can see. She has skin marks on her nose where she rubbed the mat so much from falling on her face, or what she calls face planting, during evaluations. But good news is, did you land on your feet any?
Yes.
Yes. So she did land on her feet, so she proved she could do it, and it's only going to get better with time. High five. We're at Walgreens picking up more prescriptions for Miss Emery that they didn't have ready. The last time we came, which was like 2 days ago, they had to order them. Then right next door, you can see it through the bushes, is Dollar Tree, and we will be heading over there.
And maybe I'll get candy.
And Emery says that maybe she'll get candy.
Maybe I'll get a toy.
Hi. I need prescriptions for Emery Green. And let's see here. Normally, okay, right here it is. This one saved us $44.99. And that is her Emla cream. That is her numbing cream that goes on her chest and her stomach. And then this one is paid for also, and it is her Grass Tech. And it is an allergy medicine for grass, and insurance saved us $323.99.
Yo. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine beautiful like diamonds in the sky. 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5. It's adjustable.
You guys are so silly. The candy queen here. You can pick out one box, and it has to be your allergy free. So one box, and you can pick out 1 box. Sorry. That's it.
I don't want
You don't want any candy? Okay. You and your cotton candy.
But I really wanted this one. It's big.
Well, it's just air in it. They're all the
No.
same. They're all the same, honey. Oh, fine. I'll get it for you.
Sorry. I'm really into this.
Here.
Arabella, you want one?
You want, oh, she doesn't want any candy. So we're standing in checkout, and if you haven't noticed, Arabella has hearing aids, and sometimes she doesn't realize how loud she talks. She looks at me and she says, "Register 1's open," and the lady in front of us turned around and looked at us to see how much we had in our buggy, and she broke her neck. She ran off in a sprint to register 1 to beat us so that she could check out before us. Arabella, her hearing aids really only allow her to hear loud sounds like, say, a car honking. She's profoundly deaf. And sometimes she doesn't realize how loud she talks. So now so we're standing in line, and I'm like looking at her with like this mean mug face. Like if looks could kill, she would be dead. And the only thing she could say is, "I'm sorry," as loud as she can, because she doesn't realize how loud she's being. And Arabella speaks so well because she has been in speech since she was 2. So for the last 8 years, she has been in speech to work on how well she talks. But Emery couldn't wait till we got home to dip into her cotton candy.
The green is like heaven in your mouth.
Oh yeah? What about that pink one?
All of them are really good. Especially all of them mixed together.
You were crazy.